Right, welcome to our basics of network operating systems and services. So this is the first video number one, introduction. So this is a topology which we are going to work on for our entire series of this video. So we have two networks, or you can identify as three different networks here. So if I can quickly show you how many networks we have. So this is one network. So we call it as Swansea network, which has a server, a Windows Server 2022, and a client, Windows client. We are going to use a Windows 10 client, and we are going to use a Windows Server 2022 with a desktop experience. And then we have a second network in our topology. And this is our second network. So this network has a Debian Linux, which will be acting as a server, and we will also be having a Debian client, which will be acting as uh, a client, which gets a DHCP on it. And then these two networks are connected using a third network here, and this would be a connectivity network for the purpose of connectivity. So here in this example, because I don't want to replicate any of the assessments. So for in this example, we are going to use 192.168.1.0 network. And here we are going to use 192.168.2.0 network. It's a slash 24, so it's a class C network. And then here we have a 10.0.0.0 slash 30 network, which means this interface will be configured as 10.0.0.1, and this one will be 10.0.0.2. So this is a topology which we are uh, going to work on. Initially, we are not going to configure DHCP because only when the DHCP services are implemented, we will configure DHCP. So what are the things we will be doing here? Um, we have 18 steps to complete at this point with both the Swansea network and Cardiff network here. Let's do one after the other. We have a series of videos which will try to complete all these tasks. The first task here, download the servers, download a Windows server, Windows client, and a Debian machine. For this, I would prefer to use a Microsoft evaluation copy. So that would be valid for 180 days, which is really okay for you to complete your work. So let's go for a Windows Microsoft evaluation copy. So you just go to excuse me. So we just open a Google search Microsoft evaluation server or Microsoft evaluation copy. You click on it. The first search, it would go to an evaluation center. Go to your evaluation center here, and then it would ask you to register with some details. So before that, you have to ask which version you are going to use. So preferably we will download the ISO. So once we download the ISO, uh, we can host it in a virtual machine. Talking about virtual machines here, so I am going to use a VMware workstation for this configurations. I don't have any virtual machines here. I have to download and set up all the virtual machines. You It's up to you to use. You can use a VMware workstation, or you can use a Oracle box where Oracle virtual box as well. It's up to you to choose which one you want to use. Usually Oracle virtual box is open source, so it is going to be available for free. So preferably the students will be always using Oracle box as well. So the configurations are pretty much similar. The concept is pretty much similar, but there are few changes based on the interfaces which you could sort out, I assume. So let's say that I'm going to do um, download the ISO here. So I click on the ISO link, and it gets me to a register your free trial. So you have to submit all your details here. Add your first name, last name, email address. You add your student email address for UWTSD. Company name is University of Wales Trinity St David, and then you select all here. The job role is student. Give you a phone number, and then you can click on download. So once you do that, the download will be started. So I have already downloaded, or I have already initiated my downloads for my server and for my Debian machines. I will come back to Debian in a minute. So let's do it for Windows 10. All right, so let's go for Windows 10 Enterprise Network. So you have to make sure that you are downloading the enterprise copy of it. Um, the personal copies won't support hypervisors, so you have to download the enterprise. So when you click here, click on the link, download the ISO enterprise. So you can type your details here, and then once you give it, it says that an error has occurred in response to this request. Maybe that's an error because I have just recently downloaded one of the Windows server. So, but still, I refreshed it, so it took me to this page. So here it says you have a US version of it, English GB version of it. So let me go for GB version, and let me download the enterprise version of ISO 64-bit, which is suitable for my laptop here. Uh, let's see. Yeah, so the installation has started now. So let's wait for the installation, I mean for the downloads to complete, and then we can do that. So on the other note here, I could see that I have my um, I'm just moving it, so you are not seeing all my downloads file here. So let me move my virtual machines, or let me keep my virtual machines there. Let's go to my documents folder where I have my VMs, and then let me create my VMs here. S- Yes. No, everything is a trial version. They all work for 180 days. So you can use it for 180 days. Yeah, I just moved it to another screen so that you're not seeing any of my other documents which I have. All right. Okay, so it is just being downloaded. So what I do is I just open my virtual machine file, new virtual machine. So in a Oracle VirtualBox, it may be a bit different. So here is your VirtualBox. So if you want to do it in VirtualBox, it's file, I mean machine. You can add a new mission, and then it will go on to this process. You can follow this. Doesn't have much difference, but I don't want to show you. I don't want to be uh, I don't want to make this video like you watch and do it, follow the instructions step by step. Rather, I want you to use your transferable skills, cognitive and intellectual skills, to question things and to associate things how it works. So that's a reason why I'm using VMware Workstation. Okay, so it's a similar thing. Only the interface is changing, so it should not be a problem. So I click on a new virtual machine here. So a typical one, I will install my operating system later, or I can just go and click on my install here. So let me go to the browsing section. I have my server evaluation copy, which is already here. Let me click open, um, and then let me just go next. It asks for a, oops, it's not a Windows server. Okay. Yeah. No, this is a evaluation copy. It's a Windows server. It's a server. Yeah. The client is still downloading. Okay. So next, um, I think it's yeah. We can just put pro. We don't want to give any information here. Just give next. Do not enter the product. Yeah, we don't want. It doesn't have a product key. Like to continue. Yes. So it's my server. So I name it as server 22. um, and then so here is my location. So this is very important for us uh, to choose where we are going to store all our virtual machines which we are going to work. So I go in here. I have my VM, my VM NOS. This is where I'm going to put all my network virtual machines. So I give OK here, and then uh, go next. So it asks me the size of my server. 60 GB is okay for me. If you want, you can give a bit more as well, maybe 80 gigs for this, so that you have more space. If you want to add further services and all, it should be fine. Um, Whether you want to store it as a single file or multiple files, I prefer to do it as multiple files, but it's up to you. Yeah, yeah, mm, yeah. y- yeah. Yeah, this is see, in a real world, you have a computer and you have a space for your computer, right? So that's a space which we are allocating here within that virtual machine. So if in my machine, if I have 1 TB, out of this 1 TB, I am allocating 80 GB of my disk space, hard disk space, to this virtual machine. So all the virtual the operating system will be installed in this space. No, your C drive inside the server, it will have 80 GB. So anything which I'm putting in inside the virtual machine, it will be there. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, continue. No, it's not the memory, it's a hard disk space. Good question. uh, can you repeat the question? So it would be minimum we can give 50. That should be okay. You can even give you can give sorry for that. You can give even 30, 40, but eventually you get some problems on that. Yeah, yeah.